Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I have something that I'm very excited about and I don't do on my channel a whole lot, which is a natural nail gel manicure. Alright, so I'm going to walk you through step by step. I did remove her previous gel already. This is my friend, my dear friend Dakota. She has come and she usually comes to me about every I think we had pushed this one about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks, just because of, life situations happened. But normally she comes to me every, week and a half, 2 weeks-ish, just kind of when she feels like it. I did speed through the prep just because I've shown you prep in lots of other videos, and I can explain what I'm doing. Even though this is out of frame, I did try to keep her in frame as best I could. Sometimes it worked better than others. This was her first time filming, so she naturally kind of wanted to move her hand closer to me, and I was like, no, you stay still, I come to you. But she was a fantastic sport about it. So right now, I am just shortening and shaping her natural nails. She does like her nails quite short, and she goes for this rounded shape, which I think looks really good on her nail bed, her nail length, or her, on her hands. I'm using a 240 180 grit file, so it's a fairly soft file. It looks like I'm really going like to town on these and that I'm, going really hard, but I really am not. It's just like that because it's sped up. I really am being gentle, I promise. I did remove these with an electric file in case you were wondering. I don't soak off gel polish ever. It drives me nuts because I hate sitting there waiting. So I just e-file it off and her nails are strong and beautiful. So the next step after I take off the product and shorten her nails is to push back her cuticles. I prepped gel manicures, and this is kind of a controversial thing, but I do prep gel manicures exactly like I prep enhancements. I don't prep them any differently because to me, gel manicure is an enhancement. Anything other than polish to me is an enhancement because you're doing something for your nail, you're making it stronger. So, even if I was doing a regular manicure, I would still push back the cuticles. I just wouldn't abrase it as much. So, I'm just pushing back her cuticles. She does have fairly stubborn cuticles. And she is a nail biter, so she is kind of prone to biting if she has something to bite at or pick at. So now I'm just going in and I'm using my Russian manicure bit. It's that cylinder bit that I love to just get up any of the dead skin, that's around her cuticle, the protein that is still sticking to the nail that would interfere with adhesion. Her index finger on this hand that I'm mostly working on is shorter than the rest of her nails. She did break that one off, and it's a shorter nail bed to begin with, but I feel like it's not quite as terribly noticeable with this set of nails or with, these nails because the rounded shape is very forgiving. She normally used to get square nails, and I even remember doing her nails square, but she would find that the corners would break off a lot, so they were just naturally too weak at the corners, and so she switched to rounded. She has not had a problem, and this really is just ensuring that that gel polish is going to stick on really well. So I'm taking a 150 grit arbor band. A 180 grit would also work just fine, and I am just taking the shine away from her natural nail. I am applying no pressure, because if you apply pressure, you're going to end up damaging the nail, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to thin it out. I do put a little bit of pressure down towards the tip of the nail because I find when you're doing soft gel manicures, just like gel manis on natural nails, as they grow out, there's not as much, there's not really any base coat by the cuticle area, but there is towards, the tip of the nail. So the tip of the nail kind of gets heavy or it looks thicker. So I want to try to avoid that. So sometimes I will go over with the arbor band just towards the tip of the nail. All right, so now I am removing the dust and I swiped with Swipe from Young Nails. Now I'm working with Koko Claire, and I really do like to work in systems. So this is number 1, Clean. This is just the dehydrator. I forgot to film primer on the other hand, so I'm filming it on this hand. This is number 2, I believe it's Prep is what it's called. The Clean smells like strawberry toothpaste, like I had as a kid. It's a very odd smell. Like, it smells good. And then that's the primer. So you just want to make sure you don't put the Prep on the skin at all or oversaturate the nail. So now I'm going in with the Koko Claire Base Coat Strong. I don't use the peel off, soak off water base coat with Dakota. I probably could, and she could probably get some decent wear out of it, but since her nails were on a little bit of a recovery journey from a previous nail tech, as you can see, they are beautiful and strong now. So this just kind of goes to show what proper removal and care for the natural nails can do. I do use strong on her because it works for her. So I'm just applying a thin coat of strong, and I'm making sure to cap the free edge of the nail. You always want to cap the free edge of the nail, whether or not you're dealing with that peel-off base coat from Koko Claire. I've mentioned it in my videos multiple times at this point. I do love Koko Claire. This company is fantastic. They have such great products. Dakota can't believe how long her nails are able to get without breaking off. And really, that one that broke off, first of all, it was her right hand and her index finger, which is one of her busy fingers that she's going to be using on a lot of things. And we kind of broke the system, and I used the Koko Claire Strong base coat, but I had used other gel polishes on top of it. I think I used a glitter gel polish from a different company. And glitter gel polishes are not normally as strong anyways. The glitter kind of interferes sometimes with the strength of the polish. But I did remove the dispersion layer and I tried my best, but sometimes things still aren't super compatible and it broke. But ever since I've been using the Koko Claire system together, her nails have stayed beautiful, intact for 2+ weeks. So I did forget to film that pinky. That was Flip Flops from Koko Claire. It's a beautiful light mint green color. And now I'm going in with, I believe this is Blushing Blue. It's a really pretty, like, soft, powdery baby blue. As you can tell, this is an Easter set, if you couldn't tell from the thumbnail. I am showing you the application in real time to show you just how I do take my time with gel polish because I don't want to get it on the skin. If I do, I try to make sure I remove it right away so that the other gel doesn't kind of follow it, because that's when I get a lot of issues of like gel pooling in the cuticle, is if I touch it and then I don't remove it right away. So that's why I also do cure right after every nail. So I'll work on that nail, and then I'll work on the other hand's nail. And then I'll come back and do the next nail. So she's always kind of in and out of the light, but it sets the gel really well so that I'm not like fighting with it and it's not running while I'm working on the other ones, because I do want them to look as perfect as possible. So this color is, I believe this is Barely Blush. It's just a really pretty baby pink. It has a nice kind of tone to it. I've used this a lot. I've used all these colors a lot. Really, when Dakota came to get her nails done, there was like, within that week that that past week, there had been like 5 people who had these exact same 5 colors on their nails. me being one of them. So they were obviously very popular colors for Easter and for springtime. And even though this is coming up after Easter, I know I should have gotten it up before Easter, but even though this video is going to go up after Easter, I still do believe these are beautiful colors for just a springtime vibe. So every time she's going into the light, I really just have her be in the light for as long as I'm working on the next nail on the other hand. If it's 60 seconds, that's fine. If it's less than 60 seconds, I don't worry about it. Now, I wouldn't have her go in any less than like 30, but usually I'm such a perfectionist with, you know, getting nice and close to the cuticle and making sure I'm not getting gel polish anywhere, that I usually do take more than, 30 seconds. So as you can see, I kind of start towards like the middle of the nail. I go back towards the cuticle and I kind of like scrub back towards the cuticle to get as close as I can. And that's just so I don't flood the cuticle initially with all that product. I can kind of get a sense of how much product I have on my brush. And then I'll, go forward. So you see I brush it on kind of in the middle of the nail. Sometimes I do cap the nail first because if you cap the nail after you've already put on your gel polish perfectly, kind of leaves a little like lump towards the tip of the nail, and you don't want that. Oh, that yellow color was soft butter. It's a very pretty soft yellow, perfect pastel yellow. And this is Lush Lilac. It is a beautiful purple color. Dakota actually just got her nails done again today, and she got them in this purple again. That would be the third time that she's gotten that purple, including this set that I'm voicing over right here. It is a very, very lovely lilac color, perfect for spring, and it looks great on her skin tone. So I really do like to do thumbs separately too. You can see that flip-flops ran a little bit, but I can clean that up with a file a little bit later. So now I'm second coating everything, and with a second coat, normally I don't do one nail at a time just because I find that the gel doesn't have a tendency to run as much, and I usually don't need a super thick coat. So because the gel kind of has that color gel already down to stick to and to kind of tell it where it needs to be, I can usually get 2 nails done and then I put them in the light. So I'll do this flip-flops, which is such a beautiful color. I love that mint green color. And then I'll do this blushing blue, which I, again, apologize is out of frame, but you can kind of still see my technique, how I scrub back towards the cuticle. I'm really just getting my cuticle area sorted out. And the nice thing about gel polish is that you can take your time. You do not need to rush. If you really wanted to get picky, you could get a liner brush and you could go around the cuticle and get it really, really close. I do that if I know that the nails are going to be photographed really closely. I knew that wasn't going to be the case with these ones. So now I'm going to just I can see she's out of frame. I think I push her back a little bit. There we go. So I'm going to second coat that blushing, that barely blush, and then this soft butter. Her other hand was the same colors, but she did them in a different order. So she did them in like a reverse order on the other hand. So both the middle fingers were pink, but then on her other hand, I believe the pinky was purple, ring was blue, and then index was blue on the other hand, and the thumb was green. So it was just like switched around on the other side. I don't know why, but this pink, sometimes I have to fight with it a little bit. And even the yellow too, and I do show that I top coat this, or I do 3 coats of this yellow. For whatever reason, the yellow seems to be slightly more streaky. And really, with Koko and Claire polishes, it's not very common, at least for the, handful of colors that I have. I have not had to, like, really worry about second coats very much, or third coats, I mean. Some of them are even really good in one coat. But, and really that yellow was pretty good in 2 coats now that I'm seeing it on a screen. But in person it did look a little bit streaky, so I wanted to make sure if I was doing art or something on it, I would have left it. But I wasn't, so I just wanted to make sure that it was fully opaque. And I usually do the thumb last anyways, just because I want to make sure that that thumb has, a full cure time. And I want to make sure nothing is, like, interfering with it, like, being on its side, because thumbs can be a little bit finicky in gel lamps. And that's no matter if you're doing it on natural nails or acrylic nails. Sometimes the gel will kind of pull into the cuticle if you leave it laying there. Or I've even had it where the thumb just straight up hasn't cured correctly, and it's kind of sometimes how the client holds their hand. I'm kind of used to, like, holding my thumb up a little bit more, like facing up, like I flex it a little bit. But some people don't do that. So as you can see, I know that I included this on the other hand, so you can kind of see the other hand are the same colors. But you can see that the pink ran a little bit on the cuticle there. But that's okay, because I'm going to remove the dispersion layer on the cuticle anyways. And I am going to paint something on it, so it doesn't matter. I can file it a little bit. And that was one of those things that I tried to do a little too much too fast, I guess. Like, I tried to do more than one finger or more than a few fingers at a time, and it just didn't work out super well for me. So now I'm going to top coat most of the nails, not the middle one though, not the middle finger. So I'm using the Koko Claire Shine top coat. I do like this top coat, but I don't know whether it's just me or whether it's my clients or both. But even if I am wearing like white or something, or my clients are wearing a really light color, I did notice it on the blue. I don't so much notice it on any other color. The blue and the green definitely, and like white, I noticed that the shine, like the color of the gel polish darkens a little bit. I don't know if that's just wear or if the top coat is kind of discoloring a little bit. I'm not truthfully sure, but it's just something I've kind of noticed. So it's something you might want to be leery about if you definitely have somebody that that'll bother. Most people that I have probably don't even notice that it even happened, because they don't look at their nails with laser eyes like I do. But if you have somebody that would be like super picky about that or would notice something like that, maybe just use a different top coat. Like, remove the dispersion layer of the gel polish and use a stain resistant top coat or something. So as you can see, I added that third coat to that yellow nail while I'm top coating a few other nails. So I'm trying to like maximize my time as best I can. So now I'm going to top coat that yellow nail and probably the thumb. Just so, like I said, it's just so I'm not working super fast with the product, because I really don't want it to run. That's one of the things that I hate about gel, is just how much it moves. Acrylic doesn't move as much for me because I am on a time clock and I've worked so hard to, learn how to control my acrylic and make it not run into my cuticles. So it's kind of frustrating when the product is meant to move, and that's not really what I want it to do. But it's always a learning curve. You just have to learn how to work with it, and I've really kind of fallen back in love with gel polish, especially with this brand. This brand, Koko Claire, has made me fall back in love with gel polish. At one time, I thought gel polish was just kind of a hassle, and I was trying to push my clients towards colored acrylic, but now I just love gel polish. It's so easy to change out, and it's just great. So Dakota wanted a little hand-painted, like, bunny head kind of peeking up from her cuticle. So I'm using frosting from Koko Claire. It's just their white gel polish, which already has a really good pigmentation. And in the video, probably doesn't look like it would need a second coat when doing art, but I felt it did in real life. A lot of times, cameras don't always pick up like the streaks and stuff, or at least my phone camera doesn't. Um, so I'm obviously talking while I'm doing this. I'm not the best hand painter, and I will admit that. So I cured that when I liked it. I also sped this up. And now I'm doing the ears. If anybody else had asked me, if it had been anyone other than Dakota, I probably would have told them straight up no, just because I really don't care for hand painting. It is not one of my strengths, and it just takes exorbitant amounts of time, and I hate that. I'm really impatient. That's why I love stamping so much. Because even if it is a little bit more time consuming for stamping, like a reverse stamping thing, it's faster than if I would hand paint it, you know what I mean? So I definitely love stamping a lot more. It's a lot more consistent too. I don't have to worry about it as much being all the same or being all different, because it's not going to be. So now I'm just going to add, I guess, the middle of the ears. So like the little pink parts of the ears. I asked her if she wanted eyes on it. She said no. This really wasn't too hard. All I did was like a half moon shape at the cuticle, and then, or like a half circle, and then I just kind of made like little, I don't know, what would it be, like a little curved line, you could probably achieve this with a dotting tool. Like, you can make the tips of the ears with a dotting tool and then just pull the gel down. Since bunnies' ears are typically a little bit more rounded at the top. That's an option. But you will also notice that the top coat kind of melts the design, so it's not quite as prevalent, but you can definitely see it in real life. So if you're afraid, like, oh, maybe it looks a little too harsh, the top coat will fix it. So I really did enjoy this set. I was very grateful that Dakota let me film her. These are really pretty spring Easter nails. I thought I was very happy with the outcome, even though I'm not great at hand painting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please take the time to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you and your support. I appreciate all of you who support me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.